Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for the valuable information and the knowledge you shared with us. For the next presentation, I would like to call upon the stage Mr. Aajan Roy. Mr. Aajan Roy is the founder and CEO of Living Scope Health Private Limited and Vice President of Data Science and State Corporation, Boston, with over 35 years of leadership experiences. Please, ma'am.
Hello. Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. So this is going to be much different than what you all have been hearing, since yesterday. And first of all, I would like to thank Dr. Ashutosh and all the organizing committee to, in fact, invite me to give this presentation. And I want to clarify that I am not a medical doctor, right? So I want to say that so that you all are not asking me tough questions after I finish my presentation. This is going to be more on AI, and I'm trying to relate basically how AI can be used, for cardiometabolic diseases. And so when I formed this organization, working in US for almost 30 years, my background from engineering and AI and operations and all that, I have always focused on prevention. I started in engineering also, my focus was on prevention, in product design and all that. So 7 years back, I decided that, okay, I have done prevented system failures, technology failures, process failures. What was next? And then I realized that the human body is probably the most challenging one. And as an engineer, all that is very complicated, no doubt. You all doctors know more. But I realized that it is still a machine. And if we have enough data points, and with this, everything that is happening in AI, that possibly we can start predicting the diseases ahead of time. And I think that is the way to go, right? And because I also see I have very close doctor friends, Dr. Akash Singh is a good friend of mine. And I see and I feel doctors are so overwhelmed today, because these lifestyle diseases are increasing day by day so much, right? 60 to 80% of deaths globally is because of lifestyle diseases. So 7 years back, I started on this journey that, okay, let me take my knowledge of AI, operation, and Six Sigma and all that, and see what I can give back to the society with my knowledge and experience. So I'm going to make a very small effort here trying to correlate the AI with the cardiometabolic diseases. And I also am proud to say that we did receive one of the best emerging AI technologies in health and wellness from World HRD Congress, Mumbai, just last week. I was a keynote speaker there. There I was talking to all the CXOs and HR, and I thought I will change my pitch here and talk to you all the doctors, and also learn so much from all the experts, right? So that was my idea of coming here. So anyway, so we'll start with the next slide. So this is the product that we launched. It's a preventive engine, AI-based engine, and what it does, it's called Uncurl Health, right? And the organization name Living Scope Health. And we have basically a structured way that we are going and trying to help organizations. I'm starting with B2B. I'm telling the CXOs, you guys are responsible, accountable towards your employees' health. Let's create better health for your employees so that and don't think that they may not be with you after 1 or 2 years, they may leave. Look at the turnover nowadays, right, in every industry, right? But we want to have people after even retirement, maybe enjoy good health. So do something back, So that's the idea. So we start with awareness sessions and I know a lot of people here have been talking about nutrition and all that we talk about. And we know that behaviors difficult to change into habit. When we may prescribe, I know doctors prescribe, we may prescribe something, how much patients do follow, all that. So changing that and thinking about lifestyle and how it impacts, that knowledge, the awareness itself is not there. So when I started on this, I realized that it could be more of like changing the mindset. So I said, well, let's start with some awareness sessions. So we do conduct awareness sessions in organizations and in all that, right? After that, we have a health risk assessment. So now that's where the data points starts, So we have family and personal history. Of course, we need the lifestyle sketch with all food and the exercise and the tobacco and all the drugs and all that information, right? Environment, because it does impact. So we are not only looking at lifestyle diseases, we are also looking at the mental health. And of course, we all know there is so much of correlation between all of these. So we wanted to look at that also, right? The workplace stress, which is becoming huge all over. No one talks about it. I have so much of data when I work with these companies, and I see so much of correlation and what the stress is doing, right? People are working like crazy nowadays. I mean, if you, in technology, IT especially, I know in doctors, right? And I see now, even I keep reading, heart attacks in doctors, which has been, I think in the recent past, there has been number of cases because I think everyone is working so hard. Everyone is working. So the resilience where it comes, right? And the mental health, so all of that. Then what we do is we take this and we create HR dashboards and risk. So why we have to attract the CXOs and CEOs and the HR that, okay, you need to have, like you are looking at financial risk of your organization. Why not the health risk of your organization? Ultimately, employees are your biggest capital, biggest asset. And you are not looking at it, right? So you should have a dashboard and look at the health risk of your employees and do something about it. Insurance is the last thing, right? You want to prevent it, right? Insurance is not going to do it, right? So that is the idea. So we create a dashboard so that they can take a visual look of it. And then we classify people, and this again, it gets same, the high risk and moderate risk. We have introduced something, I don't see it in AHA, ADA and all of that, the medium risk. I just find being an engineer, the 1 to 3 scale, little bit biased sometimes, it's too abrupt when it goes from low to moderate. So we created something because we want to monitor and restrict before it gets to even moderate probably, right? So medium risk, and then there is a low risk. And then we do calculate, because CEOs will not invest, CXOs will not invest into their employee health unless they see some benefits. So we do that. So this is just to give you all an idea of how we start on this. Now from here I will start talking about what we are doing on the. So this is the case study I wanted to present, that this is the organization we are working with, Inox. India, they have about this many employees. This is the size of the company, 2,500 employees. So they like the concept. They said, okay, let's try to implement this application and see what it can do, what information it can give about our employees' health, right? So we started with this organization so this is the, so we are doing a preventive clinic implementation, and there is a lot of stuff here, of course. And so I try to put all my ideas, and of course the AI creates a nice visual. You just give it your own ideas, right? So we have a 6-month intervention where we have phase 1, which is the baselining of the personalized profiling, right? And then months 2, 3, 5 is the intervention. So the triple threat, you have the HIIT, the yoga, and for the structural alignment, meditation, high-touch interventions, which is basically the nutrition, and we also have a psychology. So we are trying to have team work as a team to do the intervention rather than in silos, And then, of course, have the phase 3 after 6 months. Again, look at your body fat distribution and all the clinical markers and see what has changed or if it hasn't changed, right? And in this process, of course, we are trying to integrate AI as we move from one phase, the employees move. Can I predict, right, the risk of the employee? So this is the entire idea, and the multidisciplinary expert team where it is led by, in fact, for this client, Dr. Aajan is helping us, right, because it's in Baroda. And then these are the strategic phases. The way it works very good is the app is helping the team to focus properly, right? That if a nutritionist is suggesting something and the person is not adopting it or feeling challenging, then at least the psychologist is able to see that, and if they can help. So the idea is the application is kind of linking all the team together and giving them the feedback, right? That this is the way we are doing this, okay? And in terms of, so what we do is we are, of course, we have this filter where we are passing the data through these 3 filters. We have the lifestyle filter first, right? And then we have, of course, the clinical filter where basically your early intervention, and then you have the fast track. So we are also considering people who are already having this hypertension or diabetes, and first maybe the heart disease or stroke, any of that, right? Yeah, so these are the 3 these things. talking about the lifestyle filter, when I went through, in fact, personally, looking at all the, look at the AHA, of course, has its life essential 8 criteria that you can use to look at lifestyles, right? But then Mayo Clinic and Harvard uses a more tiered system. So I looked at top 14 or 15 medical association. Everyone has a slightly different approach, different talks about different risk factors. So we have tried to, our algorithm basically tries to take all the leading medical association and see if there's a common theme that is there, right? And try to take that as a thing. Because here also I see they have these rules, and then they will talk, okay, you have a red flag, your waist rule, right? If somebody has moderate, your waist is higher, then you bump it up them to a high risk. So everyone has a different way at looking at the risk. So we are taking the best from there. And so then the idea was basically for me is, think of the cardiometabolic, of course, metabolic, and then we look at a single continuum of risk. As an engineer, I'm thinking, we're trying to visualize that how does it work? It's like a risk continuum. And I want to look at from point A to point B and try to understand that how it progresses and what can be done to basically, so not from, like I said, I'm not a doctor, but I have to understand because I'm trying to integrate the clinical aspect into a technology, trying to make sure it will work, right? So then our focus is, of course, more on the primary intervention and early stage, that we want to understand what is going on, what kind of, intervention we can do in this so that people in primary intervention do not move into the second stage, and how do we reverse people who are already in the early stage back to probably primary. We are working with secondary intervention, like I said, but the focus is on prevention. So then naturally more on the early stage and the primary intervention we are working on, right? How does the, so this is how we started with 250 employees. And what we did is we classified each employee, like in the, what we say that you have your health journey in Uncle app. So in that health journey, where you are right now, right? That is important to know. So we have classified each employee with what kind of critical biomarkers they have, what is their health state and action, what intervention we need to specifically take, the application needs to take. So there is a very clear understanding. So the company decided that they wanted to first do with 250 employees and see how it works. The app also has built-in risk calculators because we do want to help as much as possible. So we do the pooled cohort equations calculation directly. So of course AI doesn't want to, we don't want to tell the experts and the doctors about the risk level and the primary action. I'm just showing that. What the app does is it will calculate that, right, and give to the physician that, okay, this is what it is. And then it will also tell, okay, what are the risk enhancers, right, is there. Now the advantage is this is all automatically the app is able to calculate because the people are putting in the data. App does automatically the calculation. It can even alert the doctor or physician if he sees anything going above, right, to the doctor directly. That is the one advantage, right, for the doctors in their busy life, right. And so how does the AI specifically is helping here? So if we look at the entire multimodal risk prioritization, where there is so much of this thing, it is doing all of that much easier, right? You have basically clinical markers as well as you have the non-clinical, or automated PCA, and as well as other risk calculator like we have for dynamic risk trajectories. If anything changes, then it will recalibrate, right? Identification of hidden risk it has. So these are some of the, if you are going on a paper-based system, right, or even, it is very difficult because there is a possibility of error, and it will be a snapshot in time. It is not going to be dynamic that you can keep looking at it, and that's what probably you need, right? So that is the idea of having an AI or a technology that is more dynamic and it is calculating and supporting you, right? And so, and then physician alerts and clinical integration I talked about, and in between, the clinic visits, the AI enables nurse in the loop or physician-led reviews. When the system detects a significant deviation, it will again alert. So a lot of alerts are built into the application, so it's like it becomes a very good tool and facilitate the conversation between the physician and the this thing. And this is the multi-expert clinical pod, right? That's what we're talking. We are trying to make sure that each person has a defined role and they are able to work together, because realizing that, again, like I said, I'm not a medical doctor, but realizing it's a multi-organ failure, it needs a multifaceted approach, and it needs an approach where everyone is really working together. Not one goes, and I see even in inpatient, this thing, doctor comes, does something and puts it, another doctor comes. I just feel it still doesn't just go there properly. So this application is helping to do that basically. That's all. Thank you so much. Thanks.
I think that was a wonderful talk, especially for doctors to understand. And you have very nicely put, it's an app as I understand.
Yeah.
And it's a dynamic app in the sense, as the lab values change,
Yes.
the risk will change.
Yes.
The important thing is you can show the patient, now
Yes.
your risk is this.
That's right.
It is not that you are scribbling something and you are telling the patient, that
Yeah.
every doctor says,
Yes.
it is high risk, but here you are showing in black and white.
Absolutely.
So that is very good, saves the doctor's time.
Time. Yeah.
Second thing which I learned from your presentation is you are keeping so many people. I mean the same chit or the same photo can be sent to the psychologist that
Yes.
this app is saying you are needed here.
Yes.
To the dietitian, you are needed here at this
Yes.
particular point.
Yeah.
And so will help for the metabolic. And the most important thing is we do a lot of mind-body medicine, and you have stressed that in a big way.
you so
You have a nutritionist, a doctor, metabolic physician, and a yogi.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you are laying
Yes.
a lot of stress on stress management
Yes, yes, man. Absolutely.
and
yeah.
meditation and other things which we
Yeah.
do and we propagate also.
Yes.
So that I think overall is very nice.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And,
Yeah. Please. Yeah.
I have got two precise questions.
Sure.
First of all, you have explainable AI here.
Yeah, that's a very good question. Explainable AI, right now for the LLM word, it's also again now talking about interpretable AI. So because they are much more harder with all the chat GPTs and the new things, the transformer model that has come. The explainable model for unsupervised machine learning and the deep learning already exists, and we do have some part of it. But I will be very honest with you, for the large language models, the world is still grappling with it, and as well we are. So my team is still working on explainable models to be able to tell, especially for large LLMs, when you are working with numerical data, clinical parameter, you have text, non-text images, there is so much. It just gives you something. It's so hard to explain from where it has come up with that conclusion. And you are absolutely right, because unless we can explain that, doctors especially, and I will say it will be very hard to understand why, the logic. So yes, we are still working on that. We haven't reached that stage. It is still an evolution for us. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Is that I went through an article in the New England Journal of Medicine, and there they said that if you deal with the population, the underrepresented areas of the population fall at a wrong diagnosis. For example, of X-rays. In their countries, blacks such as Negroes and other people are underrepresented. Women are underrepresented. Now, please tell me from where you have got this data, from which you have built your software.
That's a very
Is it
good.
from Indian or
Yes.
from Western data?
Yes, that's a very good point. So definitely Indian data point. We have partnership with 2 hospitals, and we have also data from several people. Like I said, we are also launched for consumers. We are getting people also. So I didn't show the app because this is not for the product presentation. The app has inbuilt this thing. People can submit their, another very nice feature is you can keep all your medical records in one place. When I started, the first thing I realized, and especially I travel between US, India and all that, when I came here, a doctor asking, do you have reports from the US? No. So where do I show that report? So we all struggle. And without reports, and I keep asking, if reports are not there, how the doctor is also, I'm sorry, but I have to say, how doctors are then doing their treatment, because it's all then to me symptomatic, because I want to look at past 5 years, at least quickly, right, what has transpired in the system, the body. So I said, well, let me put that. So the consumers are also giving us the data. The test labs are also giving us the data. We have huge data points. It's all built on, based on Indian this thing. But again, I'll be very honest. AI needs huge amount of data. It is not an end road. We have just started. The business have been there in the this thing for 2 years. As we bring in more people, it will become more accurate, more advanced. I can say that. Thank you. Yes, it is.
And available?
Available, yes, it's already.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.